I haven't tried to forget this, 'cause I'm much too full of resentment.
These are the singers you didn't see. This is American Idol Unaired. What's going on, everybody? This is American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear, and today we have got another singer from season 20. Please welcome Ciasia Nicole.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Man, I still get a kick out of talking to people who are on the show when it's been a minute, because I know I say it all the time, but I'm so curious about what it must be like in your mind to go back, not that far in time, but also, watching a new season and being like, wow, I was just going through that. Are you watching season 21?
I am. I am watching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was just there. It doesn't even feel like it's been a year ago, but it was. So time went very fast.
Yeah, we were DMing. When week one, I said my favorite was Lucy Love. We both liked her.
I
Did you?
love Lucy Love.
Uh,
I love her.
I remember she did that. She did two songs, and that second one was like a game changer. You
Yes, but
know,
I think she sung it by Donny
yeah,
Hathaway, right?
song for you, right?
Yes, she killed it.
What about week two? Who did you like week two?
Gosh. I can't even remember if I watched week two because I think I was gone.
Okay,
But so far, I just picked up on it again. I can't remember his name, but he was good. He was in a car accident, right? Or was that from week two?
is that Elijah McCormick?
I think so, yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
see, I haven't been watching the sneak peeks because I'm trying to like see everything for the first time when it airs. But I saw that name, and when this is dropping, the third episode just aired, so we haven't seen that yet. But
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
I'm behind.
you were there, you were on set, you've met the judges, you know what these contestants are going through. What are they? If you had to pinpoint three words, what they must be feeling when they walk into that room, can you do that?
Oh my gosh. Anxiety, um, excitement, um, and also energetic. It's like different emotions like combined because when I was there, I was excited, but I was also really nervous. And sitting there for a long time all day, you're just like really anxious and your anxiety builds up. So they're feeling different emotions like at one time.
It starts differently for everybody. Some people are scouted, some people try out themselves. What was your case?
So I was scouted. What happened was I was just scrolling through one of my Instagram videos. It was an old video. I think I was singing Brandy by Borderline. And then I saw this comment and it was like, "Hey Ciasia, we want you to audition for Idol." So of course, like any other human being, you're going to think it's a gimmick. So I thought it was a gimmick. But then as I scrolled through their profile, I noticed that it was real and it was legit. So we had our conversation about auditioning and I agreed. So I had auditioned. I think I sung three songs, which were Jasmine Sullivan, Pick Up Your Feelings, You Don't Do It For Me Anymore by Demi Lovato, and then Freedom by Beyonce. And they said yes. They wanted me to move on to the executive producers round. However, I didn't understand that right after that audition, I was going right into the executive producers. I thought like we were going to schedule another day, a different time, but I went right into it. So I was really nervous because I didn't know. So they told me to sing Freedom by Beyonce. So I sung Freedom, and the executive producer said yes. And of course, I was crying, and my mom came in there. She was crying. She's dramatic as usual. And they had said yes because I was very energetic, and they really don't see a lot of minors being energetic on songs like that. I definitely chose Freedom because it was different out of the other two songs and it was more upbeat. So I wanted a different, I wanted variety.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, I mean, I know for me, I'm such a top 40 kid that I need to get more into songs that are not just the singles. But whenever Cuff It came out, I just like couldn't
Oh,
stop playing it on repeat.
oh my gosh, yes. That is a big trend on TikTok right now.
Yeah,
You done the dance?
I haven't done it. I don't know what happened if I tried to do a
Neither.
TikTok dance.
Me neither. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. But Man, so you bring that energy, you bring that excitement, and as you said, I'm sure that there's a lot of anxiety, but hey, everybody's going through that because you're on a singing competition and you
Yes.
meet all these other people. So the what's the bond like to be with other musicians who probably couldn't be more stoked to have this opportunity, but also are like, what am I walking into? There must have been a real camaraderie about being with other people that are all sharing this experience.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to tell you that was probably my favorite part about being at Idol. Being with other singers and musicians, it was like we were all supportive of each other. Usually when you meet other singers and other musicians, it's like you're so divided
Mm.
and it's like you're not really a family, but there we all it was just like we were all family. And they definitely got me through my day because we were just singing together all day. I think we were singing Valerie right before I even went downstairs to prepare for my audition. So being with them, you're definitely bonding because you do the same thing and you're there for the like same reason. So you're definitely bonding, but I never feel any type of jealousy, anything. It was all positive vibes from them. So that was like my favorite part from being there.
Isn't it ironic you say that music in general, I guess the industry, it feels more competitive than a singing competition itself? You're there
Yes.
to compete, and then it's less competitive than the real industry or something.
Yes, yes. I can definitely see that because when we were there, I mean, everybody was just, it's like everybody was happy. It's like it was our happy place versus, I don't know, being at a big award show and everybody's like to their selves. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Which city did you get to go to?
So I went to Nashville to audition.
Cool. Had you ever been before?
No, I've never been to Nashville. So when I went, I was surprised because, okay, so I'm more of a city girl, but like where I live is not really like it's kind of country. But me always thinking about Nashville, I was like, oh gosh, I would never go there. But when I went there, I was shocked and it is so pretty. And when I was like walking down the streets, I was like, I could probably live here. So Nashville was nice. Also, Nashville has good food. So shout out to the place called The Row because that salad was the bomb.
You read my mind. I was going to ask you about the food. I was going to ask you, about Hattie B's, and they're known for the hot chicken.
Yeah.
I don't eat healthy in Nashville. I don't
I
eat salad.
I don't think anybody would. Me personally, I didn't eat like I didn't get to experience the hot chicken, but I ate a salad because being a singer and singing, you can't really eat dairy products and other things like that. So I had to be careful. But if I go back, I would definitely try that.
Hmm. It's a cool city though. I mean, it literally is Music City, and so many artists are going there. I mean, country artists and singer-songwriters, even pop singers. I mean, it's interesting to see how that place is becoming such a widespread I forget what the expression is, but it's like it's everybody knows everybody. It's not a small town feel, but it's not LA, it's not New York. It's like you can walk around and
Right.
feel like you're in some place that isn't so overwhelming and crowded, and yet still achieve your dreams that you might go to LA or New York for.
Right. And like down here, like where I am, like we're known for Southern hospitality. But when I went up there, they were really nice too. Like they're really sweet. They're not like mean, so it feels like a welcoming place.
Being on set, I mean, you have downtime. I'm sure, obviously, you got to explore the city. What was your experience? I'm sure you're there for days, and we do not get to see at home wearing the same outfit for days on end, waiting to film, and then film some more, and then film some more, and then you meet the judges. So, can you kind of break down what your experience was like on set?
Yeah. So I would say like before going to Nashville, of course, we had to get a lot of emails from them about what to pack, how to be prepared. So when I went to Nashville, that was a day where you kind of have a day off. You go get checked in, you go to your hotel. So I was getting settled in, and I would say for me, it was pretty chill. And then the next day we started to get to work. And as far as like wearing the same clothes, that was kind of cool for me because it's like sometimes when you watch TV here, you don't really process all of that. And so when I was there, sometimes I did had to wear the same outfits without being able to wash it. So I felt kind of like yucky because I'm always washing my clothes. And like my parents yell at me all the time because I'm always constantly washing. Like I don't wear the same nightgown like days in a row. I just switch. So for me being there, it was weird because I had to wear the same outfit even if I wasn't singing that day because it's a part of the process for the filming.
People really don't see nor do they appreciate what you do as a performer, as an entertainer, and it is hurry up and wait because you don't know which day. I mean, which day did you get to finally go and audition?
Yes, I think as I can remember, I think I was day one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think I was definitely day one. So, we were just hanging out, for a long time, hanging out. But then I got to do a lot of like, filming with, maybe like being in the mirror, showing my personality with like doing things with my hair. The producer would tell me, do this, do that, let's try this again. I think they even recorded a scene with me and my dad, like a touchy moment. And because they were doing all that, I was like, maybe I'll be aired, but unfortunately I wasn't aired. But yeah, so but overall the experience was really good for me. So in Nashville, as we were doing all of the filming and everything, I finally went down to prepare for the audition. So I was sitting in a room of a few people and I was doing just fine until I got down to the chair where I was next after the person in front of me. And so I was so nervous, like I don't know how to explain it. It's so hard to explain, but it feels like you're gonna pass out. It is that like nerve-wracking because like being a singer, you're worried about different things like, oh my gosh, what if I crack? What if I forget my words? So I was going through a lot of emotions. And then I finally went in there into the audition room and I auditioned. And I had sung Pick Up Your Feelings by Jasmine Sullivan. And they had the feedback that was given was um because I'm a girl, like I love to do riffs and runs, and anybody that knows Jasmine Sullivan, she's known for her flexibility, so that's how the song is. But when I did the song, my feedback was kind of like they thought I was doing too many riffs and runs, so they wanted to hear me sing Twinkle Little Star. So I sung Twinkle Little Star. I was nervous because I haven't sung that since I was a child. So I was scared I was going to forget the lyrics. And then I sung it and I had got a yes from all the judges and I got the golden ticket.
Wow. Gold like a star.
I never thought about it like that.
But that is interesting. It's like sometimes the simplest things get you farther than you might expect, right?
Yeah, because I was not expecting that because the way it was going, I was like, oh my God, are they about to tell me no? I'm just like so nervous. I was crying. Oh my goodness, I was crying. So when they told me yes, I was so excited. But I will say, like, being in there, the judges are nice. At least that was my experience with them. They were nice. And I would say my favorite judge is Lionel Richie. Um, he makes you feel so welcoming. He's so like heartwarming. He actually gave me a hug and I never washed my coat since then. So, yeah.
I wouldn't. Was it Katie that asked you to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
It was. Wait, okay. Let me remember. I think it was Katie, but it was between Katie and Lionel Richie. I know Lionel has said he wanted to hear me do more simplicity so they could hear more tone. Um, and I think it was Katie that mentioned maybe I should do Twinkle Little Star.
Mm. Back to that waiting room. I wish they would film the waiting room. I mean, I granted it might make you guys feel a little more nervous. So for the sake of you guys, maybe not. But as a viewer, it would be entertaining if they showed, it's what you and like three other people waiting because that's part of the process and the experience that we don't get to see. Again, maybe I stand a little corrected because I love you guys and I don't want you to feel even more overwhelmed with the cameras. But people don't realize that's another step besides being in the holding room and then being in the
Right.
judges. And it feels probably very intense. And this is it. Like, because holding is like way farther back till you're actually close to auditioning. This is like it's you and three other people. It's like a real moment that could make for some interesting reality television.
I will say I wish they kind of filmed that too with everybody in the waiting room. They don't really show that part as much, but if you were in there, it is definitely chaotic. Very chaotic.
To
There are
my guitar, gotta.
Yes, literally what you just did, that was going on. So many producers everywhere. It's like you're overwhelmed there. Like you're there to sing, but at the same time, it's like you're getting distracted because there's so much chaos around you. So as producers, they put on the mic, they're telling you to go here, go there, you're sitting down, you're getting ready. There's a certain door you have to go through. We were even nervous about going through the wrong door, which I did, by the way, but that's okay. Um yeah, it's a lot of chaos in the waiting room, I will say, but yeah.
uh, Tell me about people that you met in Nashville, other contestants in particular.
Oh my goodness, there were so many people. It is hard. I would say when I got off the flight and I arrived to the airport in Nashville, I had met four people. And one of those people, her name was Lexi. And oh my gosh, shout out to you, Lexi. You can sing, girl. She was a good singer. Her
Lexi
voice.
Weege.
Yes, Lexi Weege
Love you, Lexi.
was awesome. Her voice is just so nice and rich. And she was doing like I heard her the first time we were rehearsing, preparing for our audition. And I heard her in the room and I was like, who is that singing? And then she came out and I was like, it's you from the airport, because at the airport she was just like so quiet, but she actually is outgoing. But when she sung, she was doing so many different like jazz scats and little riffs and runs, and her voice is so beautiful. So I met her. I also met Josh, um, and someone named Tyler. And in Nashville, um, I met Tristan. I love Tristan. I actually remember Tristan because when we were on a Zoom call the first day we had got to Nashville, we all had to be on a Zoom call. I went to a store to get some things to take back to the hotel, and I ran into him in the store. But when you're on Idol, you can't really tell people yet that you're doing Idol. So when I saw him, I was like, I saw you. You were on. And so he knew what I was talking about. He was like, yeah, because you can't talk too loud in front of everybody. So I met Tristan as well, who was also a wonderful artist. So yeah,
Yeah, very unique. Love
he
his
is unique.
outfits and his sound.
Yes, yes. And he killed it for Showstopper. I thought I was actually at a rock concert.
Other than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, remind me, you get in that room. What's your other song choice? And then the words that you described in the beginning when you talk about anxiety and excitement and everything like that. What are you feeling? Do you talk to the judges? Is there much discussion before you get into the performance?
Oh my goodness. I will tell you. Um, so I was very nervous walking in, and actually, before you go in, the producers prepare you about um, this little spot on the stage to be careful because you could trip. And of course, when I walk in there, because I'm so nervous, I tripped anyway. I tripped, but I tried to play it off. And before I sung anything, I literally had the longest conversation with
Oh,
the judges, but I'm so glad because they helped for my nerves to kind of calm down a little. We talked about a lot. I think Lionel complimented my hair. It was straight at the time, so he was like, "I like your hair." They asked me what did I like, and I have a big interest in space. So me and Katie were talking about like NASA and SpaceX and things like that. And then I finally got into the singing. So yeah.
what sparked your interest in space?
I don't know. I've just always had an interest in it. Like since I was little, I would be in science class. And I think just talking about the moon and different astronauts and things like that, I just got into NASA. And I even have a NASA sticker on my door. So yeah, I don't know. I've just always been into it.
You got to talk to Tyler Christian. I don't know if that's who you were thinking of when you said the name Tyler. They came on the podcast and talked about being obsessed with space as a child, and they were on season
Oh,
20. So I want to let them know that you love outer space,
Oh,
and they're so talented. Berkeley College of Music, so you two would hit it off.
you said Berkeley?
Season 20, Berkeley College of
I think I know
Music.
who you're talking about.
It's interesting the little things that everyone has in common, right?
Yeah.
So you talk about space, and then in the process you sing Twinkle Little Star. There's some connection there
Oh
with
my
that.
goodness,
It's all
yes.
connected. The stars are aligning.
I did see Twinkle Little Star, and I'm gonna tell you, I was literally really nervous because again, like I just forget the words of that song because like I don't really listen to that song anymore because I'm not a baby. So when they told me to sing that, I was really off guard and I was scared that I was gonna mess it up. So as I was singing it, I think Katie was feeding me the words
Oh
as
my
I was
god.
singing the song. I think she was like, "I don't star,"
How
and
I
so
wonder.
what you are. So I did it. I did it um, very simple to show off like my tone. And then they just said yes. And they just gave me the golden ticket.
But that was after, and I'm sorry, I have such an ADD brain. Did you tell me the name of the song you sang before? It's Twinkle
Yes.
Twinkle?
Pick Up Your Feelings by Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay. Oh, so that was because that was you did that for like your initial virtual audition, then you sang it again for the judges, right?
Yeah, I did that because for my first initial audition, right, the producers, they were thinking because of my age at that time, and they were saying that the fact I could do like those riffs and runs, that maybe I should do it at the audition. And so I said, okay, because I figured like they know what the judges want. So I went there and I sung it. Which they said I did good. It's just that they wanted to hear a little bit more other than riffs and runs. So that's why I had eventually ended up singing Twinkle Little Star.
Right. Okay. So whatever gets you to Hollywood, you make it to the Orpheum Theater. You're there. You meet all these other people. Anybody stick out to you as you're getting to know like three times the Idol contestants?
Mm-hmm. Uh oh man.
Who do you
So
click with?
that's
Who are you making memories with?
being at the Orpheum. I would have to say my duet partner, Kirk Richmond. That was my duet partner. And I had looked up to him as if he was my big brother, and he looked to me as I was his like little sister. So and let me see. That's the only one I can really remember.
Hey,
Because
you found your buddy and you clicked. That's what matters, right?
yeah, like the way we would sing was kind of like similar. We were kind of both soulful and R&B-ish, and we both liked runs, and so we just clicked like that.
Yeah. I gotta meet Kirk. Dude can sing.
Yes, he can. And he has this like swag about him. Like every time he walks, like the first time I met him, everybody was like, "You are like so cool." I think he's from Houston, Texas. He's like a cool dude. So
Everybody has these stories, you know? It's like if only Idol viewers got to see.
I know.
If only we got to see Ciasia. I'm so glad I get to meet you though.
Thank you. I mean, you probably saw me a lot like in the audience because they did show my face. And did you see the commercial when we met Ruben Studdard and how I was like this?
Yeah.
That was me. That was me. So.
Uh-huh. A little birdie told me that you guys had to film that a couple times because some people didn't quite know who he was.
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We definitely had to do that. And it was very cold that day. It was windy and we were by a pool. So I was so cold. I was rocking like this because it took like a long process that day. This was the day I think of John around. I think this was the day of John around because you each have different lines. So mine was R&B line. So we were just outside. I was just cold, and then we we see him come out, and I said, and but other people didn't really know him, so they were
You
just
appreciate it. You knew.
yeah. So they were like, "Oh, I don't know." So we had to like, of course, like keep filming it over. But that was a fun day. That was a fun day. So everybody, We waited, and some people got to have an interview with him. I didn't, unfortunately.
But you're the one that knew him. You should have. Come on.
Like I was mad. I was like, I want to interview with him, and they got to sing for him, so I was a little sad. And because I was a minor, I also had to attend school, and it was a part of the state, the law in California, and so I think we had to have at least 5 hours of school. So I had to leave and literally go, I think, back to school or something, and I didn't get to really sit down and have a conversation with him. But I did meet him on one of the days when he was leaving, and I finally got him and we took a picture.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's personal, you know? That's not what they're
Yeah.
telling. That's not producers setting it up. That's like you. That's him. That's him saying, "Hey, I'll take a picture with you." You know, you have that
Yeah.
memory. Yeah, that's that. And plus, you know that you're like the OG fan who is like, I always know who you were. You know,
Yeah.
not none of this like, all right, can we get that again? Can we get a little more excitement, please? Everybody, back to one. Back to one.
I know, like the first time I was excited. So when we did it over, I was
Yeah,
extra excited. And I
yeah.
actually made him laugh. He was like, "You crazy, you cracked me up." I was like,
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna turn it up to 11.
"Ah." Yeah.
Well, did you, I mean, as you can sometimes learn from being in the back, did you learn anything from what he said to other contestants?
Um, Well, unfortunately, I didn't really get to hear him as
Oh,
much.
because you had to go
Talk
and do
to
school.
everybody else, yeah. And then even when I was outside, it's just like you couldn't really hear that well because it was like they were whispering or something. Like they were talking very soft, so I didn't really
Uh-huh.
get to hear any of his critiques with everybody else.
Yeah. Do you focus in school when you're on set of American Idol, or is it just how do you even think of
Um,
that?
Hmm. Well, me, I'm kind of like I stress out about my work all the time because like I'm an A student, so and I don't like getting B's because it will bring my GPA down. So when I was there, I was kind of like still stressing about school, but after like I would get back to the hotel, and sometimes those were really long days, especially on the first day, when you audition, like sometimes I was getting back around 11 o'clock, quarter to 12, but I still made sure that I did my work. But I also had, you know, um, my principal, I told him that I just had something going on. And so he made sure that I had extra time to be able to turn and work things like that because I told him like I was on a business trip.
Oh, were you allowed to say idol, or you chose not to say idol?
Um, Not really. You weren't really allowed. So you kind of like got to be smart about what you say
I'm just
and kind of
wondering, do
like
they
beat around the bush.
like I'm just wondering if a high school principal is going to be a little bit sus if they're like, okay, what's a kid doing on a business trip? If it's not a TV show, like business,
Well, I'm going to be honest. At my school, everybody knows I love to sing. So whenever I say something like that, they know what I mean. Like
right?
they know that it's something dealing with singing, but they just may not know the actual like title of it. So I'm pretty sure they already knew.
So there's like three options. You're either going to go meet Simon Cowell, Blake Shelton, or Katy Perry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did say that. So I met Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm. And she made you. I don't know why I keep going back to the Twinkle Twinkle thing. I just think it's funny. It's like you
It
forgot
was
about that
funny.
song in preschool, and that's the song that got you a golden ticket.
I know, right? I was just like, I just can't believe this. I don't know. Like when I was there, everybody asked me the same question about the Twinkle Little Star thing. And it's like after they told me yes, like I was just crying so bad. Like my tears just ruined my makeup.
Yeah.
And I almost walked out without even getting my golden ticket. So I was just shocked that I had to sing that song. And that's what got me the golden
It
ticket.
would have been an interesting ripple effect had you aired, because then this season would be like, I saw Ciasia sing that song. Now I'm gonna see what I can do.
Right.
um, but now that you've gotten to Hollywood and you've kind of, I don't know the timeline, but you met Ruben Studdard, you get your moment to sing another song in the genre challenge, and this is like wild because you're with other singers. You're all the best of the best.
Mhm.
So how does it feel to be on stage with other people? and being around all these other singers at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it felt like I don't know, it made me feel happy and joyful. The
Yeah.
fact that I even got the opportunity to be there on that stage, because a lot of people like down here doesn't don't really get that they don't really get the opportunity, so I was really happy that I was there. Again, I was supportive of everybody and they were supportive of me. One of the people, because I had a minor group, so one of the people I really connected with, her name was Cameron. So after I sung on stage for John Brown, after she sung, I can't remember if we found out the same day or the next day, like, because it was so much going on. But I remember me and her just like, we were just praying that we would both be able to make it together. And we were like holding hands in the back. And then we finally went up there and then she got sent home. I was really sad. Um, and then they told me that I had made it through. And I was really nervous because a lot of gifted people had went home. So I was like, if we sing alike, then oh gosh, I'm going home. So I just already knew like I was going home. Like I still tried to stay positive, but I just felt like I was going to be sent home. And so when Lionel Richie had announced my name, which he said Casia, Ciasia instead of Ciasia, um, I was just shocked. I was crying. And then Katie had looked at me and she had winked at me. But it just feels like you're happy, but at the same time, if you get really like close to them and then they get sent home, it hurts. So that's why I say whenever you go in a competition, and not even just a competition, when you go anywhere, all you have to be prepared mentally and emotionally and even physically. You always have to keep a level head because there will be things that happen that can really affect your performances. But I had to make sure that I didn't let anything affect my performances. There was one day where we were able to go explore the city in California because that was always my dream place to live. Like it's literally on my wall over here. So um I got to like go on a tour and I visited a lot of like celebrity homes.
Oh
And
wow.
one of the houses I saw was Michael Jackson's.
Ooh.
And I love Michael. So, I got to see his house, but it was the house that he passed away in. So it was like a bittersweet moment seeing that house. It was a beautiful house, and we learned that nobody has ever lived there because I don't think nobody is like allowed to live there. I saw one of Beyonce's, like I think one of her old homes, and the Beatles. It was just a lot of great things I saw, but like it's like the time just went away so fast. Like it went by so fast. So I didn't really get to have much time to explore like I wanted. And then after that, it was go again. Get up, only have an hour to do makeup, get ready, go down to the lobby, get breakfast. You go either to the Orpheum or you do filming, or I go to school. So, but I will say when I was there, I was on the go, but I was getting everything done really early. So most times I was one of the first ones out of my minor group to be done for the day because I was just on it, like on go mode. So I would try to get as much things done as possible.
Tell me about your duet with Kirk. Any interesting things that happened behind the scenes or getting on stage?
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing to talk about.
Oh,
So we were at the hotel and we just got finished with John around and everything. So we went in this big room. It was this big board of different pictures, right? And like I think whoever was called on the back is your duet partner, like on the thing. So we were in there and I was like one of the last people to be in the room, like left in the room. And they announced that Kirk was my duet partner. Now, by that time, I knew of him because he was in my R&B line, but I never got the chance to hear him sing. So we finally, they paired us together. But then I had like lost like one of my pictures they had just given me because it was so many people and we went back and forth in rooms with vocal coaches and it's like I lost it. So we spent time trying to look for that. And then as I finally got back downstairs to the lobby, me and Kirk were practicing. And as we were practicing, we chose Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. I kid you not. We had the hardest time. We were just so, oh my God, we were like mentally and emotionally drained. We did not get to have a lot of time to practice. And then, it was already kind of late at night by the time you found out like your partner. And you also had to take time away to look for what song you were going to sing off the board. And also because I was a minor, there were some songs that we weren't allowed to sing because it was for like 21 and older. So I said, okay, let's do Endless Love. Maybe this could be an advantage because our judges, like one of our judges, is literally on this song. So we were practicing. Literally, we had whew, less than even 6 hours. Like we were trying to practice. Then like we were trying to it was just chaotic. We were trying to get everything right with the song. And then it was late. We were getting tired, and I wanted to make sure we both had enough sleep so we can be prepared and ready for the next day. So when I went back up to the room, I was still looking at the lyrics because I never actually heard of the song. So it was like 4 in the morning, and I'm up like looking at the lyrics while my dad is just knocked out like this in his bed, sleeping peacefully. And then I eventually dozed off and fell asleep. So then I woke up the next day. It was duet day. Me and Kurt kept practicing. We were fine. We sounded fine. Um, and then oh my God. As the performance started, we were performing and something happened where I don't know, I guess he forgot the lyrics or something. And then we were both just like getting caught off guard because you don't really get to have that much time to practice the lyrics. So as it was going left, I had to think very quickly on stage. And so I looked at the accompanist and I was like, go back to the verse so we can go back to the climax because the words were getting lost. And so we finally got through the song. And even though like we were messing up the lyrics, we still sounded good vocally. So then it came to the judges giving us our feedback. And they were like, well, the song was a tornado with the lyrics, but you guys both sounded good. So it was a tornado and very chaotic with the lyrics. But I'm glad that that happened because it teaches you how to think quickly on the spot when something goes wrong. So I was glad that that happened to me so I could be able to have more experience with knowing what to do when something doesn't go as planned. And I was always taught like by my dad to whenever something goes wrong to keep going anyway. So I'm really glad that Kirk and I kept going even though we were forgetting words or whatever. And I'm just glad that we were able to push through because it is very nerve-wracking and it is a lot of pressure on duet day. Duet day is probably one of the hardest rounds there. I'm just going to tell you, it is very chaotic. So we were very happy when we both got a yes because I was scared like we were going to get sent home. So, woo! But off after duet round, we got some good food because they had caterers there. And when I tell you those ribs
Oh,
and shrimp and the cheesecake was really good, it was really good.
ribs, man. You had me at ribs.
Yes, the food made me have a better day.
I was gonna ask you if the food in LA was good because we talked about Nashville, but does the catering in Hollywood we compare? Is it
Oh my
good?
gosh, the catering. Well, when we got to California, that's the only time where we had like the catering. So, oh my gosh, the food was good. They had ribs, they had shrimp, they had cheesecake. I'm not even a cheesecake person. And when I tell you I ate like my cheesecake so fast, like it was just so good. Like every day the food was good. I almost wanted to just get their number for myself so I can like just have it.
Yeah. No, when you have your tour and you need a catering company.
Call them. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So you make it to Showstopper, which means you filmed up until the point of what it would be like to go for America's Vote. Um, I'm guessing that's the point where you have that break after duet when you go and see the celebrity homes.
Oh my gosh, I can't really remember. That is so hard to remember. I do want to say maybe after Duet Round where we had the break, the 1 day break. I think it was after Duet Round. Now, as far as Showstopper, that was very chaotic too. Um, because when we were there that night, of course, you were practicing your songs, but you also had to go to the table with the producers to figure out what you were singing. So I already knew what I was singing because from my scout had introduced me to a vocal coach. And so I was already preparing a song to sing with my vocal coach, which was Never Loved a Man. You know that song?
Hmm.
Aretha Franklin. So I was supposed to sing that. But then something happened where I had got a call and they were like, there's no clearance for it. So I had to think really fast. I didn't really get to have a lot of time to choose what I wanted to sing now for Showstopper because my mind was set on the Aretha song. And so then I had to think of something. So what happened was I went on YouTube. My mom actually went on YouTube and she found Lauren Spencer Smith, which was also one of the contestants on a previous like show on previous
Idol.
season. Yeah, on
Yeah.
Idol. And she found her singing a cover of Always Remember Us This Way by Lady Gaga. And so I heard it and I was like, I think I could do this and like make it my own with some soul and things like that. So then that was the song that I had ended up singing. It was very chaotic that night. Also because since we were minors, there was a certain time where we couldn't film anymore. So it was very chaotic. And also because I was paired with somebody way older than me, like for duet round, that same thing had happened as well. And it's like I felt so bad because it was like, oh man, I'm kind of sad they paired me up with him now because now it's kind of like he has limits because he's with me.
Wait, what do you mean paired? I mean, I know it's a solo round. Paired as in like you're waiting to perform backstage with someone else.
But no, I meant like the same thing had happened like with when that happened with me and him for
Oh, I
doing
see.
that it was kind of like happening for me for Showstopper too. Like the night you were preparing, actually the night of duet round, right? When you were preparing, after you finished practicing with your partner, you had to go to the table to discuss Showstopper in that same night. So when I was his partner, it's like we were limited because since he was paired with me, I couldn't like be on camera like I think past 9 o'clock. So we're practicing, we had to keep running, like dodging the producers that had the cameras out. It was just chaotic. So then as I was discussing the song for Showstopper, when I told you that I had to switch the song to Always Remember Us This Way by Lady Gaga, the next day is when I met with the Idol vocal coaches. And I think her name was India. I
Oh yeah,
think
India Carney.
India, and she is a great singer. Like I follow her Instagram. Shout out to you, girl. So we were practicing singing and everything, and it went well. She's a good coach. She actually had me to like exercise at the same time while I was like singing my song. It was really hard. I would say she definitely challenges you, but it really helps you because you have to have good stamina to even be a performer. So we were practice and then we finally had our sound check with the band, the full band and everything like that. That went well. So then it came for my actual performance, which was like at nighttime. Most of my performances were kind of like at night. And so I sung and it went well. Um I was aware of the judges, like being up top. And uh, while they were up top though, I wasn't really focused on it because I was trying not to really get off track and I didn't want to get in my head too much while I was singing. So I just tried to stay focused and I sung and it went well. And then after the showstopper, comes the Green Mile Day. And oh boy, that was a long day. Very long.
That's in Malibu, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Beautiful. Location wise, I know it was a long day, but location wise, it was beautiful.
Like location, it was beautiful, but it was a long day. I would say like when I was there for Green Mile, um, we had to get ready. We got dressed. We all went on the bus. We ate breakfast. I think no, that wasn't the last time I was catered. That wasn't the last time. So we had ate breakfast or whatever, and we were just sitting there. And then, before you even find out, you have to do more filming and going here and here. So I had got filmed. And they were just, it was like a little interview, and they were asking me questions about how I was feeling that day. Do I think I'll get a yes or a no, and things like that. And then came the time where it was time to for people to actually go in there with the judges to see if they made it or not. So before I went in there, I was sitting down outside with everybody else. And as people were coming out, it's just as they were coming out, there were a lot of no's. And I mean, gifted people were going home. I mean, gifted people like that can sing were going home.
That could
So
win the whole thing.
yeah, like they were going home. And I was also sad because Lexi, that I made a connection with, she went home. And it's like so many people were going home that I connected with. I was just crying my eyeballs out. And I just started becoming, I wasn't as hopeful anymore. And it's just like I felt like I was going home. I really felt like I was going home. And prior to that, you can only take one parent. So my dad was there with me, but my mom was home. So I was supposed to have a 180 call for Green Mile Day, but then it had got canceled. And as the call got canceled, I just felt like, uh-oh, something's wrong. Something doesn't feel right. Like I feel like I'm going home. Like I just couldn't understand why the call was canceled. And then when I was there that day, how there were just so many no's, I was like, there's no way I'm going to like stay and make top 24. And then it finally came time for me to go in there. So the producer put on my mic, they told me how to walk in. And when I walked in, I sat down like this, all calm, and they were talking to me, and they said that from the first day when I auditioned from them and I was doing like a lot of rips and runs, they said that I definitely learned fast because I learned quickly, and I started doing different choices of songs where it showed more tone and belting moments and things like that. So they told me that I was a fast learner, but they told me that it was going to be a no for top 24, and that maybe I should go back when I turn 18. So I was when they said it was a no, it kind of crushed me, like, but not as bad because I had already mentally prepared myself before going into the competition to be prepared for a no. I don't know if it was after or before Drama Round, but I did get to meet Jordan Sparks.
Right.
I even took a picture with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, no matter what happens, like I'm just going to be grateful because I'm literally meeting people. Like I grew up watching her play in the movie Sparkle with Whitney Houston, then I finally got to hug her, and she told me I was pretty and my hair was pretty, and I just like, oh my gosh, like that just made my day. So I definitely got to have a nice experience. Like it was an amazing experience. But also, I wasn't aired. Um, I was a little disappointed in not being aired because um out of the minor group, I was like it was only 10 of us left, but out of all 10, I was the only African American left, and I wasn't aired, but they did show a few African Americans who were minors who didn't make it. So I was disappointed because I couldn't understand how they were aired when, they didn't really make it as far, but I wasn't aired. So I was disappointed about that, but at the same time, I was just still happy about the fact that I was able to even get that far and that I was able to bring the golden ticket home. So yeah. When all the news got out that I was an idol and things like that, I had actually, made a video on social media about my experience. And I said to them that even though I didn't make it to top 24, this is not the end for me. And I'm still going to sing. And at the end of the day, life is all about timing because Idol is the perfect example. Most times, I'm going to be honest, like I would just always sit here and like daydream, be like, oh my gosh, I wish I can do this. I wish this person would call me. And it's like when you don't think about it, that time finally comes. And also that was when I was, maturing more also. So I feel like that was good timing at that point of my life. And anything you do is all about timing. It doesn't matter. You could be gifted or the best singer in the world, but life is all about timing. In my video, I mentioned to them, and while I was at Idol, I mentioned like in every single video that God is the reason why I even got there. He's the reason for me being able to have the opportunity to be able to share my gift with the world. And even though I gotta know he has bigger and better things planned for me ahead, and um, I believe he has a purpose for me. So,
That purpose for you to sing is what's going to touch so many.
oh, thank you.
Speaking of which, I cannot wait to hear your voice. I want to know what song you've chosen, why you've chosen it.
Okay, so I chose to sing "Resentment" by Beyonce because I feel like that song just shows a lot of my voice. So that's why I chose that song. I wish I could believe you, then I'll be alright. But now everything you told me really don't apply to the way I feel inside. Loving you was easy once upon a time. But now my suspicions of you have multiplied. And it's all because you like, I only give you a hard time. 'Cause I can't go on and pretend like I haven't tried to forget this. 'Cause I'm much too full of resentment. Thank you.
Wow, you are definitely put on this earth to sing. I'm not a judge, but wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, I wish I could be in that judge's seat giving you a yes because, and if I were a producer and I were picking who to air, I'd be like, check.
Oh, thank you. I feel like if you were a producer up there, you would just be my favorite producer there.
Aw, stop it. No, Ciasia, I mean, hold on, my headphones. I have to, that's the con of the couch is that I have to adjust my headphones. No, wow. My ears are blessed. That's why the headphones fell off because my ears are blessed. They were just like, can't take it. Headphones coming off.
Thank you.
I never even asked you this in the beginning. I mean, when did you realize you wanted to sing? Because clearly you were put on this earth to sing. Was it an accident? Did you just discover over time that you had this amazing gift? I mean, my God.
You know what? People ask me this a lot. So, okay. So when I was about 2 or 3 years old, right? My dad used to be a minister of music. He used to be the minister of music for church. And as he would prepare his songs for Sunday morning service, he always told me that I would just be in the room and I would like know all of the difficult like music breaks. And that I would just sing and hum along to everything. So of course at the age like I didn't know yet that I could sing, but about like when I was 6 years old, I think that's when I knew that I could sing, and my aunt and my parents had discovered it. And so my aunt would practice she would practice with me a lot to sing this gospel song called He is the Great. And so I think one of my first solo performances at 6 was like at church, and I would just sing the song and my aunt would be in the front like directing me on like how to sing it, because at 6 like sometimes like you forget the words. So I was up there, and I guess that's new. Like, I think that's when I knew that I was going to like be a singer and I was going to sing. And definitely about like to 7 to 8 years old, I definitely knew that I wanted to be a singer. And I grew up watching, oh my goodness, I grew up watching Beyonce, um, Nick, I grew up watching Rihanna, Chris Brown, so many people like on TV. And even other people who aren't singers, like maybe rappers like Nicki Minaj, people like that, I just knew that I wanted to be a singer and a performer. And I was like, Mom, one day, like, I want to be on the award show like that. So that's how I got into it. And sometimes in my room, like, I take like a softball trophy and I stand in my mirror with the trophy like this. And I'm like, I pretend I'm at the Grammys. So I say my award speech. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad I asked you that question because it's very good practice for when you're filming your documentary for MTV or E when they ask you the very same question and you'll just have it down. You'll be like, yeah, I was this age. And yeah, I'm so excited to watch that. I'm so excited to see you. I want to come see you live. I want to see you on
Oh,
tour because it's going to
thank
happen.
you. Thank you
Man,
so
you have
much.
such a beautiful voice, Ciasia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Anything that you want to tell us about music, shows, where people can listen to you, follow you?
So you guys can follow me at Instagram at Ciasia Nicole. So CIASIANICOLE. You can also follow me on TikTok. It's the same one. And Facebook, you can follow me at Green Ciasia. So GREENECIASIA. And also, I am currently working on a single. So you can definitely expect that this spring. And my single was called Don't Need You.
Cool. Well, be sure to look out for that. We'll add that to our American Idol Unaired playlist that we have on Spotify featuring songs from our guests. So I'll look out for that. Guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Idol Unaired Podcast. Ciasia, thank you so much for being a part of American Idol Unaired.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.